and gentlemen, welcome to the show. And for any garden enthusiasts out there who are looking at the screen now and thinking, my God, that looks like the strongest gnome I've ever seen, and where can I get one? You can get one at the Monster Factory, motherfluff.
MonsterFactory.shop, baby.
The Monster Factory, yes, making hammer holders, and if you can see in the background there, a bit of a merch plug.
Where monsters become real.
That's the one, son. And if you can see on Monster Michael Todd's titties, bit of a merch plug. That's the Monster Factory, mate. And it's fair to say, MT, that since we were last on this call, and I think that's probably 2-3 weeks ago, not long.
Yeah, pretty recent.
Many things have changed. Not only has the beard got longer, your YouTube channel's increased by lots. How many? Two.
I mean, it's about 6,500. I mean, we were at 15,000. We went with Tom and Juji, got to 22.5. I think we were right at 24 when we landed in Dubai. Now we're like 30,600. So, I mean, we've doubled since October 12th.
Lovely, Dart. So you're over the 30,000 subs mark, mate. Good for you.
Yeah. So I think that opens up the subscriptions and some other, memberships and some other stuff. So yeah, it's just super exciting, man. Just watching this thing grow and having a good time and having an amazing opportunity. So a lot of support. Appreciate all the people that are supporting us.
We're not done yet. Not only that, you've also become the TAL left arm heavyweight champion, mother fluffer. Oh no, apparently a left arm that sucks and
yeah, the most pathetic left arm in the game.
Doesn't work. Pathetic.
So
nice little
I've
Dev
got a
there.
really fast shoulder press. I try to tell people, unless you can stop that speed and and it's not even just the press. It's just me initiating the hook from the press, from the attack. If I set the hook, I'm strong inside. It's just slow pulling, practice pulling. It's easy to manipulate my hand and my wrist because like Corey believes my left arm's as strong as my right. It's just my left hand and wrist compared to my right. It's like a novice to elite world class. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. But the arm has power. The arm's strong.
And also mentally, mate, I think you're probably, like anybody else, your right's your favourite arm. We know how much of your game's about mental. And obviously you suffered a very serious injury on that arm. So if that doesn't mess with you.
About 10.5 years ago, the thing sparked me, so.
Yeah, live on the goddamn stage. But you were in it right before it broke.
I was really in that hook match, though.
Hey, let's start there because Corey, your boy, unfortunately detached his bicep in a match that he was actually in. He was hanging it up a little bit.
He was legit in that match. So
and then he got open.
I'm going to preface this with the fact that he had an injury from his Cody Merritt match that we didn't realize it was like a partial tear. We thought that it was just it's just nagging injury. So basically, he got on the table with Travis and Waxahachie. Travis was all over his hand, and Corey still tried to pull through it. And I think that tweaked him a bit. Then a few days later, we were here training, and I was jumping all over him, right? So in like a 3-week period, he pulled Travis, me, and Cody Merritt. And the round 2 with Cody, he tried to roll out on him, and something kind of gave a little bit. He still went on to beat everybody else, but, he lost to Cody that day. And then we thought, okay, well, you got 4 weeks to recover. And we didn't, not knowing there might have been a prior injury. But the fact is, he went into that match feeling good, healthy. But he was there. He was in it. Yeah. Dave had the jump. Dave got the start, but Corey was holding. Dave jumps into press, catches an elbow foul. Corey actually said he felt more comfortable once he came inside versus out there attacking his hand. Then Corey goes for the slip because he wanted to get in the strap, so he just did a flop press to get the strap. And then, boom, he catches. Dave starts to stretch out a little bit. Corey goes to pronate. Basically, to pronate. Boom, bicep, let's go.
It was right on that, literally exactly as you described. He got open, he got the stop, and then as he moved away and started to turn, boom.
He's been there 100 times. Like he's been in that position 100 times. And if that bicep holds in that spot,
it's alive.
He's a very proficient arm wrestler because we do so much arm wrestling. When you're a power arm wrestler and you just have like one great move, you don't have to become a great arm wrestler. You just have to be strong and really good at that move. Travis Bagent, very good at his silver bullet move. Dave Chafee, very good at just horsepowering through people. Well, because Corey has trained with me so much, I'm more of a tactician. Like I know how to win from every spot on the table. Well, Corey has gained that same knowledge. So if Corey can stay in a match, he can win the match. But that's I'm super proud of the kid. It hurt me to see him get hurt because we have a very close relationship, and I felt somewhat responsible because I'm the one that set the match up. But also at the same token, I do believe Corey deserved to be on that stage with him. You know, so he's optimistic. He'll come back stronger. He's get an MRI today, hopefully, and they said as long as they get the surgery within 2 to 3 weeks, the doctor, ortho, whatever, said no problem. And so that's awesome. Dave Chafee, amazing dude, super strong guy, awesome. Had a great day Sunday hanging out with him and his wife. But what about him getting back up the table with the left torn bicep and pulls Wayne Withers right-handed?
Mate, before we go any further, because you're off that way a little bit, let's just move you to centre, because all the fans will want to see that beard in all its glory.
Oh.
He's actually shielding shoulders, who's led down chilling with the shoulders, just out of shot. Right. So, mate, I think the first thing I want to say about that is there was a lot of talk, you'll have seen it online, or maybe you won't actually because you've been there, but a lot of people saying, wow, only the other week this guy lost to Daniel Mosier. And I'm not, again, don't want to sort of throw too much on that, but I believe that Corey had some hard matches that day, and you've been sort of professing, actually you've been professing about Dan Mosier as well, but you've been professing that Corey is the real deal. He's super strong, and that underlined it, because Wayne Withers is no bum. That is a very big man, solid top roller. Got it going on.
October 24th, he went through Ron Bass, and Ron Bass has been in rare form recently, right?
Yeah.
In the last year and a half or so, Ron Bass looked very impressive right-handed since he's came back from his injury against Todd.
Prior to that, he took out Matt.
Yeah. Wayne Withers took out Matt. Ron Bass took out Matt. And then he took out Ron Bass October 24th in very impressive fashion. Very few people beat Ron Bass that handily. So, I think Corey went into that match as the underdog. In regards to the Daniel Mosier match, Dan pulled 98s and 42s and flashed everybody, and Corey pulled supers where he had a 5-10 second match with Woody maybe. Now probably had a few second match with Woody, a 15-second, 20-second match with Michael Ello, a 15-second match with Woody, and then we jumped right into the overalls. Mm-hmm. That being said, Corey's never beat Dan before. I do believe if you put those two guys fresh against each other, I do believe Corey has a very good chance. It's just Dan is so fast.
He's superb, and he's
Corey
great at beating big men.
He's a little shorter armed, but you put Corey West against any guy who does not have that type of speed, and you have to just be able, because like I said, I don't know if I've told you this. I think I have told you, maybe not on camera. John Brezink, after pulling with Corey and Waxahachie, told Corey, in my entire arm wrestling career, there's only been a handful of people whose wrists I couldn't crack back even if they started in a hook position, and I gave up on that immediately as soon as I gripped your hand. That is that is a very, very, very big compliment indeed. I've never got that type of praise from John Brezink in my life.
No, that's mega. That's a hell of a compliment.
So that just shows you. As soon as I knew Wayne, very tall arm, long lever, great top roller, but I'm just looking at this thing going, this is a bad matchup because you're going to have a hard time top rolling Corey's wrist unless you are a speed demon, and you're a no load speed demon. If you load with him at all, the kid is very, very strong. Yeah. I actually have a video that, I think I've told you the story. Have I told you the story about him at work? He worked at a paper mill.
I don't think so, mate. But anyway, recount it anyway.
At a paper mill. And they had lost the key to a padlock. So while one person goes to get a set of bolt cutters, the rest of the people, like you and I would probably be doing, would just sit around chatting and wait for the guy to come back. Corey reaches down and grabs the padlock, twists it, puts it in a bar, and stands up, snaps it off. But then the funny thing is, he's told me this story, and I repeat this story, and he tells me, no, Michael, you could do it. I'm like, listen, the fact that you think that it's normal strength to be able to break a padlock is ridiculous. He's like, no, but it's a leverage thing. So he keeps trying to convince me every time I tell the story. Well, it was about last week, I guess. He sends me a video. He's like, hey, dude, I sent you a video in your inbox. Because I told the story so many times, he felt like I needed video proof of it. So he shows a padlock, reaches down and grabs it, twists it, stands up, snaps it off. And it doesn't just pull it out of the lock. He breaks the thing in half. Just ding, ding.
Yeah, that ain't a normal thing.
No, that's freaky strong shit.
Yeah.
So this kid is exceptional. He really is. He's exceptional.
I mean, you got that kind of hand and wrist strength. You know what my advice is?
Stay off Pornhub.
Stay off Pornhub. Absolutely.
Stay off Pornhub. You don't need that. Get away from Pornhub.
But yeah, so, I mean, I could share the video with you, but he doesn't want it getting out. I'm working with somebody who may be able to get the kid a sponsorship with the Padlock company, like get like the best padlock company out there and then have him a video of him snapping their competitor's padlock. But we're definitely going to do a YouTube video. We're going to bring it over. He's going to bring some padlocks here, and I'm going to try to break one. Epically fail, I'm sure, and then he'll just grab a hold of it and snap it right off.
Crazy times, mate. And I mean, for those people watching the show now who aren't familiar with Corey, who don't know Corey, there's the sort of the old description of the gentle giant, and this guy is fitting that to a T. I mean, he's the most humble, lovely, genuine dude you could ever wish to meet, and the man is massive. I mean, he's a big dude, isn't he?
He's down to 410, so he's down to 410. He weighed yesterday. He's like, I've lost 16 pounds. down
to 410 pounds. I mean, this is the kind of individual, if you're at home and you're in a bunk bed and he's at the top, you are genuinely risking your life. That bunk bed gives you flat. You're completely flat.
The thing is, he's dropped weight and gotten stronger, right? Now, this is, he's a huge man, but, like, he's gotten healthier. He's lost inches in his waist, and people are like, oh, he should do this, he should do that. Listen, people don't go and tell Brian Shaw he needs to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell world strongmen they need to lose weight. He is a strength athlete, and he goes and gets checked. Everything's fine. His blood pressure's fine. Cholesterol's fine. Now, he may not be able to jog, and he actually can jog. He jogged back and forth to the hotel last year. I forgot the kid. He ran back and forth to miss a match. So the dude is a 400-pound guy that jogged back and forth to the hotel at 5:06 for me. But his muscular endurance is as good as anyone I've ever seen, because I think people would agree that I have pretty good endurance. He can do the exact same workouts I do with the exact same weight that I do with blood flow restriction and complete the workout. And I've never seen another human being be able to do it.
Now, let's be honest, mate. We've spoken a lot in our recent interviews and chats offline about the benefit that Corey has given to you and your progression, because he's a guy that you're working out with regularly, you get to pull with regularly, which is always a difficult thing for anybody at that kind of elite level. Now, it's fair to say also that that's going to be benefiting Corey enormously because of what you've just described. It's sort of like, you shoot for the stars, you might just reach the moon, and he is working out at a very, very high volume, and he's working out at a very high level in the sport of arm wrestling with a guy who's an awkward person to arm wrestle against, and he's going to put some serious strain and impact on all areas. But he's had a bit of a meteoric rise, and he's only a puppy as well, isn't he? He's like mid-20s, isn't he? Mid to late 20s.
No, he just turned 30 this year. 4 years ago when he started arm wrestling, he could not beat our 154-pound state champion.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, and now he's currently ranked number 7 in North America. They have me, Jerry Caderet, Jerry, Devon, Dave, Tim Bresnan, Todd Hutchins, Corey. I wholeheartedly believe, no disrespect to Tim Bresnan, I believe he beats Tim Bresnan right now in current form.
Can I just check?
When you say he's top 5 in North America.
When you say he couldn't beat your 154-pound champion, right?
4 years ago.
Was it just because he had appalling direction or something? I mean, he wasn't joined up at all, or he didn't have the mobility because of his natural size?
Well, he was actually lighter then. He was, at 11 years old, he was 6'3", 330. So he hasn't gotten any taller, maybe a half inch, since he was 11.
At 11 years old, he was 6'3" and 330 pounds. At 11.
150 kilos.
Shit the bed.
Right? So, massive individual. All kinds of football scouts looking at him. His sophomore year, I believe, sophomore or junior year, he started working at a convenience store, and there was just all this free food at the end of the night, right? So I think he graduated high school at 5:05. So he was just a big boy. Well, on his own, in about a year and a half, just through diet and exercise, he got down to 270.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the 270 him was not near as strong, right? He'd lost a lot of his power. And I believe that's around the time he got into arm wrestling. He might have been right at 300 or something like that. So when he first started, he couldn't beat the 154. A year later, he's probably mid-threes, and he wins the PAF Amateur Nationals.
Yeah.
A year later, he's probably 365, 375, 375. and he takes fourth place at PAF finals behind Paul Passmore, Sean Latimer, those guys.
Mm-hmm.
About 4 months later, he finishes 5th, 6th, 7th. I don't remember what place it was at the Arnold Classic where Marcio won. Robbie Burnett took second. Woody took third. And about that time, whether it's the week before or the week after, as he started driving to my house, he had lived an hour and 15 minutes away. So he drove an hour and 15 minutes each way to come train with me twice a week. And when he started, he couldn't do my maintenance work, especially with the BFRs. It's just too much for him. Well, once he started progressing, because I was peaking at that time for my 2019 title defense against Dave Chafee in June, by the time I get to that event, workouts that were previously my best when I was preparing for Pushcar, we were doing that and increasing the weight. And then I think I ended up being 20 pounds stronger by the time I pulled Dave on any workout. And Corey was doing when I say I was 20 pounds stronger on my circuits, Corey was doing the same circuits.
Yeah.
Right? He had the same capacity. So we knew his potential, his strength was there. But the table time is what, when you're talking about how much it's helped Corey, I'm in my 31st year. I'm 3 months into my 31 years of arm wrestling. So in that time, no one has had more of an impact on my arm wrestling career than Corey. Because I've never had a team. I've never had anyone that I consistently trained with. Nobody I could count on. It was just me out here motivating myself to train. Once I had Corey, he started pushing me, and I hadn't been pushed. I pushed myself really hard, but no one ever pushes me. And Corey could push me. And the table time we got, and that's what when John Brzezinski made that comment about his hand and wrist, Corey's like, yeah, well, that's cool because my hand and wrist used to be my weakness. I guess getting top rolled by Michael every week has made my hand and wrist strong. Because that's, I'm just going to attack his hand every time we arm wrestle. And because I've attacked his hand over and over and over and over, unless you're a very, 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 very elite world-class pro nation strength, you're not getting his wrist to go back.
What was his sort of gym background when he came into pulling, mate? Had he done a lot of, powerlifting training, strength training generally?
Like he was probably the strongest. He went to a very small school, but he's probably the strongest kid in the history. But his bench wasn't but like 405 or something. I think 20 months ago, he could bench 405 once or twice. And now he's hit 550 for a single, 405 for 16 on a couple occasions.
Good.
Recently he did 405, 4 sets of 10. And then 3 days later, he's trying to do a video of it. He was going to try to do 5 sets of 10 with 405. We ended up doing 2 sets of 10, basically 405 for 50. But
yeah,
he ended up taking like 12 or 13 sets because 10, 10, 5, 5, 5, 3, 2, 2. It just broke down.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's gone.
Too fast. But he's a freakishly strong kid. I think he's deadlifted close to 700 pounds without deadlifting, without being a deadlifter. Just go and grab it. He's one of those just farm boy strong guys. But like I said, when he started arm wrestling, he was maybe between 270 and 300. And like his wrist has grown over an inch in the last 20 months.
Wow.
He has a 9 and an 8-inch wrist. His wrist is massive. And, so like my wrist was like a half inch bigger than his. And now, his is grown. Mine's just shy of 9 inches, like 8 7/8 or something. So he's got a quarter inch on me on his wrist already. And we have the same size hand as far as you put them next to each other, but his is just so Dave Chafee's like, I couldn't even cap my thumb. He's like, I've always capped my thumb. His hand was so thick, I couldn't cap my thumb. So,
and for anybody out there who, anybody out there who isn't familiar with 9 inches as a measurement, you can ask my missus. Yes.
There you go.
Now then, other things that are going on, mate. I
know exactly where this is going. But this is what we expect. Hey, this is what I told you when I talked to you,
Well, I'm going to say it's gone a bit further than we thought. Because you knew you were going out to go over with Larry, work out with Larry. That was ace. Excited about getting over to Dubai. It's gone a bit bigger than that. In fact, it's gone a lot bigger than that. You're now talking about going to Dubai to live for 4 months.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Khaled.
Oh,
that conversation.
Dude, Khaled can wait. Khaled can wait. Khaled can wait.
No,
we're talking about this is the Monster Michael Todd show, this motherfucker, and we're talking about.
Okay, my bad.
Hey,
monsterfactory.shop in case you
there you go.
We're very soon. Hopefully
just look
by
at
next
there
Monday.
it is. Where monsters are real. Now, let me tell you now. That shocked everybody. I'm pretty sure it probably shocked Shoulders, and that's why she's laid down recovering. Because going out to Dubai, that is not a small change.
It's a huge change, man. It's a huge change. So the opportunity so basically how all this started was Devon Larratt, sandbagged me and showed up at an arm wrestling practice with John Majuji, and we had an impromptu match. Well, that match went online, and within a few hours, Larry messaged me and said, "Hey, I'd love to have you come to Dubai." That was not a hard negotiation. I'm like, awesome. I would love to come to Dubai. That was pretty much my response. So we were thinking we would go to Dubai, hang out with Larry, shoot some good content, get a boost in subs, kind of expose me to a few other people, and that would be the end of it.
And have a holiday and see Dubai and stuff.
Right. So, and we actually get over there. We don't get to do any of that because we're filming so much, and the time difference is 10 hours, and we got there. I think we had a few hours sleep, and before you know it, we're at the gym filming, and we ended up just Larry and I got along really well. Our personalities, meshed really well. He's very passionate about becoming a high quality arm wrestler. And he just told me, he's like, listen, we had several opportunities presented to us while we were there, which was awesome. And as Rebecca was relaying some of those opportunities, he stopped in the middle. I got a better one. How about you just come over here and just train me for the next however. Actually, he didn't want us to come home. Like, they were really trying to convince us not to come back home. I'm like, dude, it's Thanksgiving. I got grandkids. I got dogs. I got affairs I've got to get in order. If this is serious, I got to get home. And so, long story short, he wants me to come to Dubai until he moves back to the States in April. So I had given myself.
But when you say he's moving back to the States, is he moving back full time, or does he do half a year?
Full time. Yeah, he said the summers are just way too hot there. It's like the case of hell. I think it's 130, 140 in the summer.
Yeah, I've been over there in the summer, and it's like it's like somebody's blowing a hairdryer on you. It's just crazy.
Yeah, so he's like, dude, I got to come home, man. I got to get back to the States. So that's it. So that's basically, hey, let's go. We come back home. We talked back and forth about it. We had some other plans. We had a nationwide tour that we were going to do starting 2021, and this opportunity is just so big in the aspect of how many times you get to train with someone who has the world-class strength pedigree of Larry Wheels.
And that level of commitment. And for those of you who don't know, I mean, I'm sure there aren't many, but anybody out there who doesn't follow Larry, who hasn't checked out Larry Wheels, get over to his channel, check out some of the stuff that guy does. I mean, I'm very familiar with Larry, obviously, from the strongman and feats of strength background generally. But the man is an athlete. We're talking about a guy who's got powerlifting records, who's competed in professional strongman at the Giants Live Arena Tour. He's now getting involved in the sport of arm wrestling. And as you've just made abundantly clear there, he's not the type of dude that pursues things by halves, is he? I mean, when he goes for it, he doesn't play games. He's committed. It's on, and he's all in, isn't he? I mean, he ain't mucking about.
That's what excites me most about working with him, because I can see it in his eyes. And he reminds me of me. His hand's not any bigger than mine. He doesn't have huge wrists. He's just got crazy power, but he just has a desire to be great. Right. And he's done that already in multiple disciplines. So when I find someone who's that kind of passion and commitment, it's very easy for me to pour my knowledge into him. Right.
Sure.
And I believe that we're both going to benefit greatly. Yes, he's going to become a much higher level arm wrestler, but I have an opportunity to get, so I'll be in Dubai for 3.5 months, let's say. Right.
Is it confirmed now, Mike? Is that that's a done deal?
No. I have to, so here's the deal. I have $7,500 a month in bills here in Arkansas, right? So I have to get those bills covered because they'll be neglected while I'm gone.
Of course.
So we're looking for some different sponsorship opportunities, like intro commercials on our YouTube for that time frame, things like that. We've got a few things working right now, but I had given myself a 10-day period because it's stressful. Rebecca's, anxiety is getting at us because we don't know what we're doing. We don't, are we staying here? Are we going to keep training clients? Are we doing a nationwide tour? Are we moving to Dubai? We don't know what we're doing, right? So the uncertainty of things makes it difficult for us to just enjoy the now. So I gave myself last week, I said, I'll give us 10 days for me to do everything I can to procure these funds.
Yeah.
And, that deadline ends Friday. Now, technically it doesn't have to but that's so that we can leave December 27th. Be in Dubai by the 29th. Rebecca's birthday is December 30th. Celebrate her birthday, celebrate New Year's, boom, back to training immediately the next day. So technically, that doesn't have to be the timeline. But at the same time,
you just preempted my next question. I was going to say, why?
Well, because I don't want to force something to happen that's not meant to be. If it's supposed to happen, I don't think I'll have to, I don't know. It's confusing.
To be honest, mate, let's say, a flight. okay, a professional, imagine like a fight camp, and you've got to take, ordinarily 3 months is about the line. So even if you came out of Christmas and opportunities presented themselves there, you'd still have a significant period of time in Dubai to work with Larry, and
absolutely. You know. I want to know, because, I mean, the thing is, my stepsons, like I said, we got 4 dogs. My stepson and his wife and my granddaughter are going to move into our house. They're going to take care of our house. They're going to get out of their lease. They're going to be putting back money so they can buy their own home. You know, these are not small things. I mean, if we make this decision, it's a big decision. But for me, it's the opportunity to have 0 distractions. Like, you know, I'm lazy, dude. I lay in bed and watch TV all the time. They're like 2 seasons behind on all my shows. I've already seen everything, so there's nothing for me to watch. All I can do is train. So if you gave me 12, 13 weeks to train daily with someone who is as strong as Larry Wheels, I can help him get better at arm wrestling. He can help me just overall strength. I have the opportunity. We walk through this gym, and 80% of the people look like they just stepped out of Muscle Fitness and Flex. Rebecca and I looked at each other and we're like, damn, we got to get in shape. So now we have 0 distractions, meal prep company, the whole thing. I'm going to come out of Dubai looking scary. People are like, holy shit, have you seen Michael Todd? You know, because once I get dedicated to something disciplined.
Oh, yeah. Been there, yeah.
This is not just amazing for our YouTube. Not a chance for us to grow our channel 10 times, to grow our social media platform. But obviously we're an arm wrestling / fitness channel. We have the opportunity to be a channel that is everything strength. Of course. Because all the collaborations that we'll be a part of, because Larry's always bringing new people over. I may get a chance to work with Eddie or Thor, or who knows, right, over that time frame. And also, you don't know who you might end up meeting in that time frame. But to me, it's more about giving Rebecca and I an opportunity to focus on us. We have not had the opportunity to focus on us in a long time. Give us that short period to focus on us, our health, prioritize that.
Yep.
Providing for our family long term through these different vehicles, social media, YouTube, things of that nature, different opportunities that have already been presented. I don't know if I should say, but there's a possibility that before I came home, we would have definitive proof of who the number 1 arm wrestler on the planet would be. So there is something. So if I was to prep for such a match, what better place to be prepping for? You know what I'm saying?
Let's try and dig into that a little bit, mate. Or and obviously you can't say anything you don't want to say. Have conversations taken place at this stage alluding to that with Lavan?
Not with Lavan specific. Lavan and I are both on the same page. We want to know. He wants to know. I want to know. But it doesn't have to happen under any league.
No.
In
fact, in some respects, it's far better that it doesn't.
Absolutely. If we get some money on the line, somebody wants to put up the money, somebody wants to put us together in a room, somebody says go.
I wouldn't.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with this shit. Let's find out.
Look, at the end of the day, mate,
I'm old.
You don't have to preach to me on that one. I'm the converted. Back in the day, when I was pursuing the sport, you really, it's in you. You want to know. You gotta know. And the thing is, when you're peaking and you're going at it that hard, you can't sort of keep that level forever. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, mate, but we ain't as young as we used to be, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I turned 48 in June. If I have an opportunity prior to that day to train, to prep properly, to have this no distraction opportunity and to get it on the table with arguably the strongest arm wrestler who's ever lived, let's see what's up. Somebody say go, damn it. I'm ready. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with this. I can only count there's only like a couple of cons. That's me being away out of my comfort zone, obviously. I just built this amazing gym, so I had to leave. I'll miss my mom, my family, my dog, but everything else is a pro. There are no negatives. Yeah. So Rebecca and I.
Let's talk about pro for a second, mate, because I know you can act under pressure and you're very professional, and you just proved it there by sort of suppressing that mini gag reflex puke that nearly happened when you chugged that whatever the hell that is that's in there, and
that's my Crystal Light.
Manned it off and carried on.
I love sponsor the whole trip. All right, go ahead. There you go. Monster Factory .shop. Available coming soon,
I love it, mate. Get the plugs in. But, joking aside, obviously, if you went out to Dubai and it went tits, and I'm not saying it's going to go tits, so calm down there, shoulders. But if it went tits, it's 3 months. It's not the end of the world, is it? You know what I mean? If you could get the other things in place, it's almost like a lot of people who take work contract basis for work of any description. Sometimes they go amazingly, sometimes they're slightly different to what you expect, but it's not the end of the world, 3 months, 4 months. Let's say it's 4 months. Yeah, you'd probably handle that. Your suntan will be the nuts. Can you imagine Marco Yellow? He'd be over there, no problem.
Dude, for real. I've actually already had interest, like Dave Chafee. I was telling him, he's like, well, dude, if you get over there, let me come over for a week. You know?
We'll come over, yeah, no problem.
You know, like everybody wants to come over and train at that point. If I'm there, like, hell yeah, let's roll. You know, because, I mean, the thing is, with everything happening with the pandemic and COVID, I'm not going to have an opportunity to collaborate with a lot of people because, like, Europeans can't come to the States. But Europeans can come to Dubai.
Well, we've just had Carl Hutchins over there. Or Britain's super heavyweight champion, Carl Hutchins, is over there now.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, so
I mean, there's opportunity. I mean, it's just, there's so much opportunity. But at the same time, this isn't all about me. I really want to see what's possible with Larry. And I say that, you know, with the whole Monster Factory brand, where monsters become real. Corey is living proof that the programming that we do works.
Yeah.
Right? It's a fact. So that's what makes me so excited. So we just started talking about Corey a minute ago. 4 years ago, he couldn't beat a 154-pound state champion, and now he's arguably top 5 in North America. So if you take someone with the strength pedigree of Larry Wheels,
oh my God, yeah,
what in the hell is possible if you put him on the right system where everything clicks and he just and he gets, the thing is, you got to get confident on the table. Right now, he's not confident. You know, he'll get in a position, you'll see him kind of let his arm go. Like, he's not there yet. He's not 100% sure everything's going to hold up, everything's going to stay together. So just getting that guy comfortable, getting him going through the motions where everything is just natural movement.
Yeah, fluidity.
This is going to change him significantly because the strength is there. Okay, so his riser strength's not there. You know, some of his cupping strength may not be there. There's some areas that we need to work on. But the core strength exists with this man. Mm-hmm. So all we have to do is translate that and get that connective, everything just running right. And I'm excited to see what's possible. So that's
so am I.
As well.
I think, to be honest, so would anybody who's into strength sports. You know what I mean? It's that crossover, the whole crossover thing's fascinating anyway, isn't it? You know, I've always been fascinated by that. In terms of we've seen people go from arm wrestling into strongman. Vytautas Lalas. Prior to that, Magnus Samuelsson.
Absolutely.
You know, it's cool if a couple come the other way. You know what I mean?
Who would love to get a hold of Brian Shaw and let's train Brian Shaw? Holy shit! You know what I'm saying? I mean, that would be amazing.
Mega.
Dude, that would be crazy.
I'm not going to lie. Tom Stoltman excites me, not in a sort of, you know, prison way, just in a yeah, that'd be scary. Wouldn't it? That bastard come down off the top bunk. Bloody terrible. But you know what I mean? From you look at somebody like Tom, he's such a massive frame. I'd love to get that. I would have loved to get that man training for arm wrestling, just to see if he could join it up. I mean, it's not going to happen. He's right at the peak of his strength career, but there are others. And these guys that are on the fringes of that, I've spoken about Iron Bibby before. You only need to grip up, and you will do. When you get together with Bibby, you'll see what I mean. Immediately. As soon as you grip his hand, you'll be like, holy, yeah. It's like a can of Coke with fingers glued on. Ridiculous. And that's the kind of people that are exciting to me. I love the prospect, the potential of those guys crossing over. And right now, I don't think that arm wrestling has ever been as vibrant, as buoyant. You know, people really are taking an interest in the sport from all areas of strength. I mean, it was nice to see Karol Sarchev over there the other week, and he had a knowledge of it, was talking about Denis Siflenkov's involvement, you know, and that you can see that degree of excitement and fascination with the sport. Ace. I think it's mega.
On every video that Larry produces, at some point, every collaboration that he does, at some point, they're arm wrestling.
Which is
everybody on the table.
Yeah.
You know,
how good's that?
Just his platform alone is exposing a lot more people to the sport of arm wrestling. So imagine if he does have that high level of success with the sport, what that's going to translate to in the amount of people who are going to come over and become fans of the sport, right?
Do you know what I love about him most as well, Michael?
Do what, buddy?
You know what I love about him most? His attitude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, his attitude. Look, you. How many times have people with that kind of strength pedigree come into a sport and, you know, obviously all eyes are upon him. So he comes over and everybody's saying, and a lot of those people, you know, there's a lot of jealousy out there, and they'll be thinking, oh yeah, he can't boss this sport. Attitudinally, you could not improve on Larry Wheels if you tried. The man is absolutely boss. He is acid.
He just wants to learn.
Oh my God, he's great.
He doesn't care how many times his arm gets pinned, as long as he's learned from it, you know?
I love that about the guy. Eddie Hall, very similar. You know, he's open to that. He respects arm wrestling. He respects that it's a different skill set, and he just wants to get in there and to learn it and absorb it and master it. And I cannot take my hat off enough to the guy. More power to him, you know, because he's come in, he's taken arse whipping after arse whipping. I'm sure the guy's going to have the usual aches and pains and shit that you get from, you know, the deep set achy breaky. Not rocked him at all.
No.
Not rocked him at all. Every credit to the lad.
As ever, you know, and that's what's exciting. It really is. I mean, when I talk about if you give, you know, I take hard work and work ethic, discipline over genetics and talent every day. I mean, now if you find that the 1 in a million who will work with, you know, who has the genetics and the skill set and the talent and will put in the work, then you got something special. But oftentimes those guys that it comes easy to aren't willing to work as hard. And Larry is one of those guys who will work. So that's exciting.
The other thing I bet's really good for you is just from what you're saying, obviously the Monster Factory and everything you're doing with the body transformations, yourself and Rebecca are into that. That's your thing. You've both, through periods in your career, you've both been in fabulous condition. You only need to look at your photographs on social media. You've been ripped to the bone. But with someone who's in that field, like you are, it's got to be exciting when you're working with somebody like Larry just for the crossover potential. Because when you're hanging around people that are that absorbed in the sport, that are that encapsulated within the sport, you can't help but just soak up all that knowledge that they're surrounded by it. I mean, like you say, you look at the gym, every day, anything that Larry puts out there, there's 10 freaks all over the place. And he's with him every day, and he's taking that knowledge. You knock around that area, that environment for 4 months, you're going to subliminally take in so much new information that you can then pass on to clients, and it's mega.
No, yeah, it really is an amazing opportunity. If it's meant to be, we'll make it happen. And if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, I could always go back over there for a few weeks or something if I needed, you know, if that was an option. But I do think we're going to pull it off. I really do. We have some really a lot of good people helping us right now to try to fund this thing. And I think we're going to pull it off.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching the show here, and you can help out my mate Michael Todd, please get in touch with Michael. If you can't get in touch with Michael, contact me in the comments and I'll get you in touch with Mike myself. We're looking to make it possible for this man. And let me tell you now, this is one of my closest friends in the sport of arm wrestling or outside of the sport of arm wrestling. He's like my nuts little brother. And this man deserves it. Let me tell you now.
Well, I appreciate it, Neil.
He 100% deserves it.
Means a lot, buddy. I appreciate it.
Well, mate, I know. You know what I mean? I've been there. I've seen it all. Every frigging bit of it. And I would absolutely love this to come off for you. I really would. Because, yeah, you've gone balls out, mate. You can't. What do you want me to say?
And I know. That's where we are, man. We about a month ago we said we're no longer going to be scared or afraid of opportunity. We're just going to grab it and go, you know. And that's what this is. This is an amazing opportunity. This really is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So, I feel like we've been blessed with this, and I'm going to do everything I can to facilitate it. So,
I couldn't wish you any more luck, Mike. I absolutely couldn't. I mean, my God, if this comes off, it is genuinely life changing for you. And as I've said before, in my opinion, right now, if you put any one single individual across the table from you in multiple round matchup, I think you are definitely in the match, and I'm thinking you can take it. So if the thing with Lavan comes off, ace, just be awesome. I mean, it's an opportunity to do something that they haven't been able to achieve through either of the leagues. And let me just go on record as saying, I am a huge fan of both WAL, obviously, and Professional Arm Wrestling League. I think both are fabulous organisations, but I do think with the climate, generally as it is right now, was the match with Lavan to come off, it would be great for everyone.
Thing is, yes, absolutely. I mean, I have great relationships with both. Igor and I go back 16 years, 14, 16 years, I don't remember exactly. Got a great relationship with Steve, and all that's amazing. But at the core of this thing, I'm a competitor, and so is Lavan, and we want to know who the best man is. So if there's an opportunity to make this happen, where everyone involved, because all it's going to do is elevate arm wrestling in general. The amount of views that match will get will be viral.
Crazy.
It will go crazy. It'll be shared over and over and over and over. Win or lose, that's going to be a viral video. That's just going to get that many more people talking about arm wrestling, right?
I really need to be at that match if it goes down, Michael. I really need to be.
Well, I will let you know what's up. I can talk off camera about, what's going on, but I can't say any details now.
I just want to see the match.
Dude, I want to grab that big ass thick hand and see if I can crack that wrist back. Because I'm telling you, a very well prepared me is a dangerous dude. And I promise you, if this happens, I will be the best, baddest, most ridiculous version of me that's ever stepped up to the table. And I expect the same would happen with him. And it's just going to be, if it comes off, dude, like I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah, right now, it's bristling. It's the match that, like you'd just be in the environment, like the biggest fight in the world. It's just, the day before everybody'd be like,
and he's great.
You'd be nervous wreck.
I really like him. He's a good dude. All of our communications have always been very respectful of one another. He's such his future. He's already, on any given, arguably the best guy in the world right now. We don't know, but who knows what's going to happen from here on out. The guy is a freak. Yeah. But, that's what makes it exciting. I've always, I've went against Pushkar. I've went against, some Plinkoff. I've always taken on whoever and he's the one. He's the one that I get to. So I came up short. I do believe in the last 10 years I've been the best arm wrestler on the planet in periods. I just didn't get the opportunity to prove it. I could die today and believe that 100%.
Hard to argue against.
Yeah. Send a voicemail. Sorry. So that was someone calling me. I don't know how that happened because it's on Do Not Disturb. But
for the Lavan.
Could be. He's like, hey, man, what's up? Let's just make this happen. Yeah. And the two times I've had the opportunity to prove it, came up short against Devon 42, came up short against Andre 42. What better time in my career to become the overall number one in the world by beating the unbeatable opponent, right? The guy who's undefeated in professional pro format arm wrestling.
I'll tell you what it is, mate. I'm going to, again, let's say this match does come off and you won, or Lavan wins. Whoever wins, it's...
At least I'll know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's pretty bloody unarguable. Because if you sort of encapsulate the whole picture right now, the men most likely, the matches have happened. So, in each of those scenarios, you've got a result. People will always throw light and shade on it, but it's bloody difficult to argue. If you were to beat Lavan, or he was to beat you, you're hanging the moniker around that neck, aren't you? That's the man, really.
You can't argue it. You'll have this guy. Well, what about this? What about that? Well, whatever. Yeah. But the vast majority of people would crown that person as the best arm wrestler on the planet.
Yeah, they would.
That's just. There'll be a small percentage of people that would argue it, but the vast majority of people would. Whoever won that match is the number one arm wrestler on the planet.
I really believe they would. And when the world's been, well, not just the sport of arm wrestling, the world of sport generally outside of probably UFC has been decimated by the effects of the pandemic. God damn, this would inject some venom into the game, wouldn't it?
This came to me right then when we was thinking about this. If that match was to come off, and I had, a few weeks notice, a month notice, whatever, enough notice to inform you, to inform Devon, who would be in that room to watch?
Oh my God.
Who would make the trip just to fucking watch? You know what I'm saying?
To see that match.
Yeah. So, that room, the people that would be in that room, that would be a very special moment in the sport for sure. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. We'll see. I still got to get there first. But,
well, yeah, as I said before, call to arms, ladies and gents. If you can help Michael make the Dubai situation a reality, who knows what's possible. And all of that before we get back to the World Arm Wrestling League Season 21.
Ooh, right. Yeah. Yeah, awesome times, man, awesome times.
My God. Now then, let's just move on slightly, although I don't want to because I'm getting quite excited about the prospect of that, but the event at the weekend, TAL over there, some real shocks, some real surprises, dude. Holy shit.
Oh, I got one for you that you probably don't know. Am I allowed to say?
Oh, is it about the unexpected damage on a friend of ours?
On Cody?
I mean, firstly, let me make this statement. What the fuck?
That was in round 2.
How is that even possible?
In round 2, dude.
That's like when the footballer Bert Troutman broke his neck in the bloody cup final and played on for the rest of the game and then told everybody he broke his neck. How the fluff do you break your arm? Match?
I don't know. I mean, that's insane. Have you seen the X-ray?
Yes.
How do you do that?
I've never heard anything like it, mate. I've never heard any. Tell everybody what's going down, mate. And just for those who don't know, I mean, what the.
So after round 1,
this Cody Merritt Topi match. For those of you who didn't see it,
go check out the video. Monster Mrs. Monster. Cody says we had the best angle of the match. Rebecca just got lucky. She's right in the center of the crowd. Got amazing footage, so check that out. After the first match where Cody got everything he wanted, won convincingly in the strap, in the slip, I believe, of round 2, where his tendon, I believe, was reconnected, the bone burned out, cracked on both sides. Like, there's the bone, and then there's a piece of bone here and a piece of bone there. Like, it broke. So it was everything that had to do with his hand. Like he said, I couldn't use my hand anymore. So in the strap, his wrist gets compromised. He is arm wrestling with a broken arm.
With a broken arm. And like you say, I can't emphasize enough, we're talking apart, busted.
No, I mean, the bones are separated. Like, yes. It's a chunk of bone here, a chunk of bone. There's 2 spots that piece of the bone came out of the. I'm like, when I saw the X-ray, I'm like, holy shit, because I looked at the top and I looked at the bottom, I'm like, that's completely came apart. And it's
incredible.
I don't know how he's round 2, and then gets in there again and wins round 3, and with holding boom, 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 and just gets in there and just all hearts that shit. You know, I just pray that he can heal from that. I mean, send your prayers out to Cody Merritt for a fast and speedy recovery, because that man is a bad dude.
Oh my God! I mean, how? For those of you who don't know Cody as well, Cody, lovely person, absolutely loves the game. We're talking about a man who's won a world title last year at the WAF, Masters and Seniors left arm. Man's got a serious left arm, undeniable. Flies under the radar, doesn't get a great deal of notice, but a really, really serious competitor. If you go into a match with Cody, particularly on that left arm, and you're not ready, you're in trouble. And when I heard the news about this, I've never heard anything like that in my life. I've just never heard who can break the friggin' arm into two pieces and continue to pull an entire additional round and win.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled 2 rounds with broken. It was 3 rounds, and he pulled 2 of them with a broken arm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So
has there been any news about the ramifications? Because you mentioned that it had been damaged where his arm had been repaired.
Corey has talked to me more than I have, and I just, doctors say, doctors would tell me I shouldn't arm wrestle. If you look at my right elbow, they're like, dude, you shouldn't even pick up a glass of water with that arm. You know what I'm saying?
Before I had my joint rebuild, they told me I'd never arm wrestle again. I mean, that was the exact words of the surgeon.
Doctors say things like that, and they just don't know the heart of an arm wrestler. You know what I mean? They don't know what this sport means to us. So I believe he's going to come back, complete recovery, be right back at it. So my prayers are going to be constantly with Cody Merritt on a full recovery. But yeah, so I don't know all the details, so I don't want to speak about it, but that's what I know, and I'm expecting a full recovery from him. On a separate note about that tournament, how badass did Jordan Steele look?
Mate, hey.
Oh my God.
First of all,
Todd Hutchins destroys Woody 3-0. Woody comes off stage, tells Corey, you don't want none of that. Well, I mean, Corey and Woody are 2 different people. So I think Corey actually fares pretty well in that match. But then you see Jordan Steele, 240 pounds, the biggest he's ever been, jacked on top of jack. Just holding straight back, till his hand back, hold on to him, can't slip, can't get the strap. Wow. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Woo!
That version of that man looked impressive. I mean, people will say, oh yeah, this guy was in a super match, this guy wasn't in the condition he can be. Forget all of that. Jordan looked iron. He looked really, really, really good. You can't deny the man the moment, and he looked awesome. And I would love to see Jordan still do well. Good mate of mine, arm wars competitor, built for the game.
100%.
Just got it going on. So it'd be almost like a coming out party for him to realise his true potential in the sport, because I know I'm not alone in thinking that he's sometimes underachieved. He's gone into matches that he's ended up losing, and I thought, no way, I had you for that one, And then in between those times, he showed sparks of brilliance,
You know what I'm saying? Just like everything that you knew he's capable of, that he would fulfill that potential in that moment, and then he would come up short at other occasions. You're like, what the heck? That happened to me some in my early part of my career. Like, I would get big wins, and then I'd lose to someone I wasn't supposed to lose to, But I never had the genetics that he has. His genetics are superior to most people who ever step on the table. But ridiculous performance by him. I mean, and then he wins the left hand, and then he wins the overall right and left. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude looked really good. Very impressive.
I mean, that was sort of like that crowning moment in his career, hopefully. And I hope I'm not doing you a disservice, Jordan, but I did wonder sometimes whether you've been fighting with those confidence demons that we all face, those inner battles, and that had been hampering you. If that was the case, brother, then this should give you that next level of confidence that when you're on, you can really achieve, because you looked on your game, you looked calm at the table. It was a masterclass. You looked exceptional. I didn't actually catch it at the time, but I've watched it since and a couple of times, and yeah.
Oh, and really. Someone asked Todd, like, were you feeling bad, or is that? He goes, no, Jordan felt that strong. He's like, nope, Jordan felt like a man, like a bad dude.
Weirdly, Todd has told me a number of times when we've had prior conversations and so on, whether we've been on the show and whether we've been just out having a beer after events, and Todd a number of times when we've been talking about Jordan has said, in training, I've trained with Jordan a couple of times, and he'll show up at training some nights and you can't do nothing with him. He's just ridiculous. And that was the guy, wasn't it, that showed up at weekend. Whilst we're on the topic of guys that I thought had a great day and looked excellent, and I was really pleased for, got to give some love to Jacob Abbott.
Dude, Jacob Abbott's the next person I was going to talk about. I mean, his heart and determination in that match with Todd Hutchins, he just dug deep, baby. He was in there grinding. Like, there was a couple of times I'm like, that arm might go. That arm might go.
Inside.
And he just buried that elbow even harder and just committed that shoulder even more and just took a few deep breaths, and he was in it for in for a penny, in for a pound. I mean, I've been in that spot many a times, and he showed a lot of heart.
And it was really nice to see, because another guy that's been there forever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Jacob's been banging. Jacob's had his moments when he's been one of those men most likely that everybody was looking at. I remember that, Superstar Showdown. Rob Bidgent was on here the other day. He mentioned it when he came into the sport. He was saying, yeah, Jacob was bad man. He was one of the few. And I don't know. He's sort of like distractions get in the way, and you sort of fall away a little bit. And he's been that guy for a while, but it was ace at weekend because he just looked reinvigorated. He was back.
It was good to see him. I haven't seen him in years either, so it was really cool. I mean, he put together. So the venue that it was supposed to be at was going to be amazing. We drove by and saw it. Spectacular venue. But then something happened. They said, no, we can't do it. And man, Jeff Frank just pulled that thing together. I mean, he could have easily pulled the plug on that, and he just pulled it together and pulled out an amazing event,
Yeah, good for him. It was nice to see, and I'm sure, again, it'll have lifted a lot. Every credit, hats off to Jeff. Great job, mate, doing some excellent stuff over there. How the hell he's pulling it together, I don't know, with the situation.
Yeah.
With the pandemic as it is and travel and so on. But yeah, he did make it happen. I was actually a little bit, I felt for Jeff, because the super matches didn't deliver just as much as they could have done, apart from the Topi Merritt match. Outside of that, it was a shame he didn't get the result he was looking for.
Yeah. All right, my clock just
going up.
Yeah. So,
listen, mate.
Wait a few minutes if we need to. But.
Well, listen, we've covered a great deal, and I know you got to get your stuff done, so we'll kill it there. But one thing I just wanted to say, and I know you'll join me on this, I got some troubling news the other day about our very good friend Devon Larratt.
I messaged him last night.
Not good, and that was really concerning. As you say,
So I yesterday morning, he messaged back, and then I messaged him last night, are you awake? Because I wanted to talk to him, because I wanted to make sure, hey, dude, do I need to be worried? Are you going to be okay? Because he's a friend of mine first, right?
Today. Yeah, I mean, that's just what I was getting to, mate. I mean, arm wrestling's arm wrestling, but these are our friends. And I messaged Dev this morning, and, he's an hard case. I mean, he's not a guy, he's not a guy who crybabies, is he? You know what I mean? And he said, look, I felt better, but it sounded like he was through the worst of it, but it's going to be a road. So
when I told him, I said, listen, man, I just want to make sure you're all right. He came back to me. He's like, I'm not dead yet, with those type of comments. I'm like, well, you just know that if you need something, if you need to talk, or if there's anything I can do, I'm here, buddy. Because like you said, competition's competition, but shit, that none of that matters. We've got 20-year relationships with each other. I mean, at the end of the day, we're family. Yeah. That's what this is. This is like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. So I didn't realize that it could potentially be bad.
I was really shocked when I saw the post, and I thought, what the? When he said DVT, and I didn't know about PE. I'm bloody shocked because Devon's such a fit bloke. Yeah. I mean, primary level of fitness. I was really, really worried about that.
Yeah. So man, I mean, prayers going out to Cody Merritt, prayers going out to Corey West, and 100% prayers going out to Devon Larratt. Make sure that our arm wrestling family is healthy and healed, and we get to do this for a long time.
Absolutely. If everybody can come through this healthy at the end of the day, we'll settle for that. And if that's been checked off, then we'll also love to have the Monster Michael Todd LEVAN match. Yeah.
I knew someone was going to say it. I didn't know it was going to be me or you. I knew one of us was going to come up with that.
It's got to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time here on the Supernatural Strength channel, then firstly, thank you for checking us out. I want to say a massive thanks to Mike for taking the time out, coming on. Mate, I really hope you get this done, and I hope you get over to Dubai. Don't write it off, though. Remember, it's not a one-done deal. If it doesn't work this month, and listen in, shoulders. If it doesn't work before Christmas, maybe it can just after. Keep your dreams alive, dude. Don't give up on it. And, yeah. Hopefully you get there, mate. Listen, everybody else, if you enjoyed the show, please like, share, subscribe. Please check out Mr. and Mrs. Monster. Get over there.
Look at Monster and Mrs. Monster. It's
there
Monster
it is.
And Mrs. Monster.
And
monsterfactory.shop.
That's the one I was going to close on. Get over there and check out the new merch, mother fluffers. Ladies and gents, we'll get off here. Mike's got some clients to train, and we'll see you again next time. Till that time, take it easy, peeps.